From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight,
Ijoma Oyanato.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, 4 more Chibok schoolgirls reunite with parents, bringing to 57 number of those who escaped from Boko Haram's grip. Federal government blames opposition political parties for insecurity in Nigeria. Senate Clare Petroleum Minister says there's no record of missing funds in the NNPC. And Chechen leader denies sending troops to Ukraine.
This is news tonight. Global Research Group predicts Nigeria's consumer market value to reach $1.4 trillion by 2030.
And on sports news tonight, Nigeria's Super Eagles forced Scotland to a 2-2 draw in an international friendly in England.
There's a new document coming out of Borno State. 4 of the 223 students kidnapped from Government Girls Secondary School in Chibok are said to have escaped from the Boko Haram camp. Now, this brings to 57 the total number of those who have escaped so far. The Commissioner of Education, Alhaji Musa Kubo, made this revelation while addressing the Presidential Fact-Finding Committee on the Chibok attack in Maiduguri. He explained that the 4 girls were discovered after Governor Kashim Shettima directed the Ministry of Education to open a data page for families of all the girls, which should include names, pictures of the girls, and their classes. The 4 girls are believed to have been amongst those that escaped into the bush but were hidden by their parents. With this additional 4, the total number of those still missing stands at 219. In the meantime, the federal government appears not to be mincing words as it blames opposition political parties for the insecurity in Nigeria. Rising from the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting, the Information Minister Labaran Mako told journalists that the main opposition parties are playing politics with security issues. He also gave the assurance that the federal government would soon surmount all security challenges.
If you go to the Bring Back the Girl campaign, 90% of those organizing it belong to a political party. Has the media ever analyzed it? 90% of those organizing it belong to a particular political party. And yet, the insurgency is operating only in states controlled by that party. The entire money we are spending is to maintain security in states controlled by that party. So where do you come out and start playing politics? We are busy spending money to maintain security in those states. What have they done about it? Because it's 90% of all the insurgency is in states controlled by that political party. 90% of those campaigning to bring out Chibok are also members of that party. Because the media will look the other way. No, I think that honestly, if we want this country to grow, we must ask the relevant questions. The Chibok girls remain our number 1 priority. We will never sleep, we will not rest until God brings them out. But for you to now begin to look at it as if, you know, when people do wrong, we are the firefighters. The federal government is a firefighter. We did not create the insurgents or the structure that led to them. You know where they came from. Well, you are not blaming the firefighter for the fire.
Information Minister Labaran Mako. Now, the Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade, has again reiterated the commitment of the Nigerian Armed Forces to confront the Boko Haram insurgents in the country. Speaking in Abuja while hosting a coalition of civil society organizations, Air Chief Marshal Bade says the nation's being confronted by terrorists operating under the Al-Qaeda network, as the insurgents, who started out as members of Boko Haram, are now being funded internationally to destabilize the nation. The leader of the civil society organizations, Mr. Emmanuel Osemeka, applauded the efforts of the nation's armed forces and appealed to Nigerians to support the military.
We are up against something that is more than Boko Haram. Boko Haram started in Maiduguri. That was small. But the thing has gone out of hand. It is now Al-Qaeda in West Africa and Central Africa. We have evidence of people from outside Nigeria fighting within Nigeria. So it's no longer Boko Haram. It is Al-Qaeda we are fighting. It is so, and Al-Qaeda, they are so formidable. But we will confront them. You are aware we have international partners working with us to bring back our girls. I'm trying to get our girls released. Our girls should be released. And as I will continue to say it, if we eliminate all our young women, who will replenish Nigeria? If we eliminate all our young men, who will power the engine of state? You know, so we must do something. We must do something.
We, in the Social Welfare Network Initiative, unequivocally states our unalloyed support and solidarity for the sacrifice being paid by our soldiers in the protection of the territorial integrity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are proud of our armed forces and will continue to support your efforts, irrespective of the reports of the media, most especially the international media, and some unscrupulous individuals in Nigeria.
Now, for those who still doubt the conduct of a fresh national census in 2016, then listen to the chairman of the Population Commission, Mr. Eze Durihoma. He told journalists in Abuja today that he is not only set for a fresh national census, but he is also convinced that the exercise would accelerate national growth.
Because no meaningful and people-oriented planning or people-centered planning can be had or carried out without accurate and reliable demographic data. The Commission therefore solicits the understanding and cooperation, understanding and support of the government at all levels and, in fact, the Nigerian people for the conduct of the 2016 census. The Commission not only has the technical competence to conduct a world-class census, but also the structure to nurture the confidence of every section of Nigeria in the census process and produce a data set that will consolidate the dividends of our current democratic dispensation.
Now, the death of the wife of the chairman of the National Conference, Justice Idris Kutige, has forced the conference to adjourn sitting to Monday. The deputy chairman of the conference, Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, announced that Justice Kutige's wife, Mariam, died around 2 a.m. this morning. He says the conference would adjourn to enable delegates attend the burial. They were supposed to vote today on whether to scrap the Pilgrims' Welfare Boards, as agreed on Tuesday. In part two, after the break, Senate clears Petroleum Minister over allegation of missing funds. That's in a moment. You join us again.